The Nintendo Switch was first released back in 2017, making it a 7-year-old console. And with the rumored Switch 2 release around the corner, how well does the original hold up in 2024? Today, I'll share what made the Switch a great console and if it's still worth buying. So let's get into it. Okay, the Nintendo Switch was a unique console at the time because there were 3 different modes you can choose from: TV mode, handheld, and tabletop. TV mode is a traditional way of playing games. Connect the dock to the TV, slide the Switch in, and you'll be able to enjoy your games in front of a big screen. I mainly use the Pro Controller when playing in this mode. There's also the benefit of playing together with family and friends. About 10% of my gaming is done in TV mode, and the rest is in handheld. I'm a casual gamer, so I like how I can pick up the Switch and play wherever I want. I'm not limited to just my living room couch. I did own the original Switch with the LCD display, but since I used it mostly in handheld, I upgraded to the OLED model, but I'll talk more about the screen later. There's also the Nintendo Switch Lite for those who only want handheld mode in a light and compact design. And for the last mode, tabletop. I almost never use it, but it's for playing multiplayer games on the go without a TV or normal controllers. There's a kickstand on the back of the Switch, so you can prop it up at any angle. And the Joy-Cons are detachable, so they can be used as 2 separate controllers in landscape. So whether you choose TV mode, handheld, or tabletop, you always have a way to enjoy your favorite games. If you're interested in the Nintendo Switch, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Alright, the Nintendo Switch is a hybrid between a normal home console and a handheld one, and you can easily switch back and forth whenever you want to. A dock is included in the box, and you need this to play on a TV, but there are some third-party options as well. It has several ports like USB-A on the side, and the inside has an AC adapter, HDMI, and a LAN port, but only on the OLED model. After you put the Switch in, everything looks pretty small unlike a PS5. When it's docked, it's capable of outputting up to 1080p at 60 FPS, but it all depends on the game. Most of them run at a lower resolution and frame rate though. It won't look as sharp or smooth compared to the PS5, but to me, Nintendo games don't need to look super detailed, they just need to be fun. When playing the Switch in handheld mode, it's pretty nice to hold. It's not that ergonomic, but I haven't had any issues. All of the joysticks, buttons, and triggers are easily accessible. As I mentioned before, I upgraded to the OLED model, and everything looks a lot nicer thanks to those vibrant colors and inky blacks. It's only 7 inches at 720p, but it still made me want to replay some of the games I already finished. And combined with the upgraded speakers, Nintendo games never looked and sounded this good. So exclusive games are what set each console apart, and the Switch is no different. All of the childhood games you grew up with are here like Mario, Kirby, and Pokemon. The games run the same no matter which model you choose, but the Switch OLED will produce the best looking games out of the 3. Classic games are also available if you're subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. You can play games from Nintendo, to Game Boy, to Nintendo 64, and even Sega Genesis. If you don't want to pay for a membership, there's always an emulator. Even though the Switch is 7 years old, games are still being announced like The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario & Luigi Brothership. In terms of performance, the Switch is showing its age. Some games take a while to load, while the hardware has trouble keeping up with others. Between the 3 models, Nintendo retained the same processor and RAM, so it's not surprising that all of them behave the same. But at least games can run on the Switch unlike the Wii U or PS Portal. The storage size is quite small at 32 gigs for the Switch and Switch Lite, or 64 gigs for the Switch OLED, but games don't take that much space. My top 5 games are about 11 to 17 gigs each. This is nothing compared to PS5 games, which can well be over 100 gigs. Luckily, there's a micro SD slot right behind the kickstand if you need more storage. It wouldn't be a Switch video without talking about the infamous Joy-Con drift. It's like a glitch on the detachable Joy-Cons. One or both of the joysticks might detect movement even when you're not using them. So if I'm playing Super Mario RPG, Mario will automatically start moving on his own. People have said this is caused by debris on the joystick sensor or just wear and tear. I only had this problem once on the original Switch, but Nintendo fixed it free of charge. Nintendo stated that they'll make an announcement regarding the Switch's successor sometime this fiscal year, so by March 31st, 2025. Maybe it'll be called the Nintendo Switch 2 or Super Nintendo Switch, but whatever they call it, hopefully it'll bring some improvements. The Joy-Cons are rumored to be redesigned with a new magnetic connection. The current ones use a sliding rail mechanism for separating the Joy-Cons from the console. They're also supposed to be bigger than the current ones. Unfortunately, all your existing Joy-Cons might not be compatible with the new console, and I'm hoping they add Holo-Fix sticks to prevent Joy-Con drift. Another rumor is that the screen will be an 8-inch 1080p LCD display. I wish it were OLED, but Nintendo will probably release an OLED model down the line. Performance is supposed to be on par with the PS4 or Xbox One, so maybe we'll see 4K when docked with higher frame rates. Even though there'll be better performance when docked, handheld mode might be throttled for longer battery life. The Nintendo Switch is still a great buy in 2024 due to its large catalog of games and its ability to transform into 3 different playing modes. If you want more performance or just the latest and greatest tech, the Switch 2 will be announced soon. Do you think the Switch is still worth buying? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!